All right, so Nick Pivetta was the signing yesterday, and today it is Kyle Hart. It was not reported by someone; it was put out by the Padres this morning. So, wasn't something that a lot of people were thinking was going to be happening, but it's something that the Padres have done before. They did it with Nick Martinez. I think that's the comparison that I've continued to hear today, and it's an interesting move. I mean, don't go look at his 15 ERA that he had in 2020 with the Red Sox in like 4 games and 11 innings. A lot has changed since then. And he went this past year to the KBO and pitched for the Dinos, and he had a sub-3 ERA, 2.69 ERA in 157 innings. And he was talking to the media, already has talked to the media earlier today, and was pretty much saying how, yeah, I mean, there were some things that happened, like he dropped his arm angle. I believe it was either a slider or splitter, sweeper, excuse me, sorry. He honed a sweeper, and that's part of how he's been able to have success this past year. And so it's cheap, like it fits the Padres, not paying him very much money. It's 1 year, $1 million for 2025, a $5 million club option for 2026, $500,000 buyout. So really at least 1 year, 1.5 mil for Hart here, Kyle Hart. 2026 salary can reach 7.5 million based on escalators for games started. That's according to Robert Murray. So it just fits what the Padres are continuing to do. Not super high risk because it's not a lot of money, but it's not someone that's guaranteed to, pitch really well for you. Jason Hayward, not guaranteed to hit well for you. Connor Joe, same thing. Nick Pivetta, that's more of a guarantee, I would say. But these moves that they have made, Elias Diaz, bringing him in, Martin Maldonado on a minor league deal. These moves, it's like, all right, they're names that I've heard of. They've been able to have success at times at the big league level, some of these guys that they've signed, but it's hope. It is the Padres seeing something in those guys, and they're going to try to get that out of them, and going to try to have some jerks and profars again on this team where it's $1 million that they're making, and they could end up being a very impactful player for this team. Don't think we should expect these guys to be profar from, this past season and the production that he had, or be Nick Martinez, maybe even. Should we even expect Kyle Hart to be that? Because Nick Martinez was huge for the Padres, especially in 2022. Should we expect that from him? I'd like to see him pitch before I put some expectations on him, or, thinking what I think he's going to do. I mean, I want to see. I've seen highlights, but let's see him pitch in spring training. And it's something that, like, I don't know how you can hate this. I don't know how you can have a strong opinion on it right now, really. Again, I just want to see this guy pitch in a Padre uniform and be consistent here. And what is he going to do? He's going to be fighting for that fifth spot with probably Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito, Matt Waldron, maybe Stephen Kolek. Although, when they sign Nick Pivetta and then they bring in Kyle Hart, I feel like Kolek is on the outside looking in here, but we'll see. But Schilt, I believe, did mention that they did, and this may be funny to hear, but yeah, they still needed some depth in El Paso, because these guys, even if they don't make the rotation, to have them be built up as starters and keep making starts in El Paso and be ready in case an injury happens. And newsflash, an injury is going to happen. That's baseball. Be ready for it. And so just adding depth, okay. And I believe this is a major league deal for Kyle Hart. So I assume that he's going to have. Now, he does. I did see, I think Kevin may have wrote this. If it wasn't him, I apologize to whoever I saw this write this earlier today. But he and these other fifth starters in the competition for the fifth starter spot, they do have minor league options. So that is good. But I would think Kyle Hart is someone that the Padres want as that 5 starter, him or maybe Matt Waldron. Those are the two that I would have at the front of the line right now. And Matt Waldron, I say that because he does add that special element with the knuckleball, and we'll see how confident he is in it, how much he uses it, all that. But yeah, Kyle Hart, I don't think it's a move that you can hate, and a lot of the reason why is because just the way the contract is, the money. It's not, committing 50 plus mil, maybe 20 plus even if we want to go the Pavetta, like actually what we know he's going to get. It's not like that. So we'll see. I believe, was Nick Martinez more money than Kyle Hart? I'm pretty sure he was. So maybe that's us reaching too much if we want to expect him to be like Nick Martinez and come over like that. But why not? That's kind of how I look at it. AJ Preller, he spoke to the media today, and I can go through some of the main points that he talked about today. He was asked about rotation and is it kind of set here with this group of guys. He mentioned that there are non-roster possibilities out there for the Padres to bring in. There are still good pitchers that are out there. So it seems like they're still looking, but really still looking to add bats is what Preller was talking about today. From what I was hearing, it seemed, Preller did not say this literally, but it seems like they're looking for another first base / DH option, which makes sense. Anthony Rizzo's still out there. There are vets that are still out there. I'm not saying Anthony Rizzo's going to take $1 million. He might, but he probably wants more than that. But you could get someone on a minor league deal just to create more depth and be another option. Because what if Gavin Sheets doesn't work? What if Connor Joe flops? Luis Ariz he can't play DH and first base. So got to have someone there. And I don't know if they want to carry 3 catchers and have Campy DH. So we'll see. Ariz wants to remain in San Diego. That's what Luis has told AJ. So I think we already knew that, but I did want to at least include that here. I don't think an extension, because that would mess with the AAV. Maybe an extension would bring the AAV down, but with where the Padres are at with the luxury tax, they're well over that first luxury tax. It's not like they're a few mil and you get an extension done with the rise and change the AAV, and then you can get below the luxury tax doing that. They're well over it. So I don't think they're like going to be, maybe they're motivated to get an extension done, but not for the reason of, hey, let's change this contract, this AAV up a little bit here, and lower it so that we can get under the CBT. I want to rise here long term. I don't think he would cost a ton. And it seems like to me there aren't a ton of teams that value Luis Ariz, and the Padres value him. Maybe that can give them the edge. Dylan Cease, that was a topic. Always got to listen, was what AJ Preller was saying. But it does seem like, because he then went on, though, to explain or mention reasons why Dylan Cease should remain on the Padres, and the no-hitter and just how good of a pitcher he is, and how what they've been doing is to kind of build around Dylan Cease in this rotation, and I should say supplement, I believe is the word that AJ used, supplement the top of this rotation, which includes Dylan Cease. So it doesn't seem like the Padres are shopping him, but they will listen, and they should be listening. If someone's going to blow you away, it helps that you have some more pitching options and you added Nick Pavetta. That helps. And in a Dylan Cease deal, you're probably getting young pitching back. So we'll see. He is still reporting to Eric Kutsenda. AJ Preller still reporting to Kutsenda, which shouldn't be a surprise because John Seidler is not the actual chairman. I know he was voted in, but he's not going to be the chairman until he becomes the trustee of the Peter Seidler Trust, and that should happen within the next month. But as of now, Eric Kutsenda is still the guy over AJ Preller. And he mentioned, someone asked about AJ's relationship with John Seidler, and AJ said that he had only talked to Seidler, John, a few times. And I don't think he was meaning a few times this offseason, but a few times like ever in his lifetime, where he'd see him at different events or something. Maybe he'd he didn't mention this, but I assume maybe he sees him behind the scenes in a tunnel or in the suite, something like that. But it doesn't seem like there's that much of a relationship there, but there will be time to build that out. So yeah, that's what I got today from Padres camp and what I saw. If there's something that I missed, you can let me know in the comments. But yeah, Padres, they add Kyle Hart. Doesn't hurt to have another fifth starter option. Create some more competition. It's a lefty as well. And it seems like it's an improved lefty. He has worked on things, improved things, and you put him with Ruben Niebla, and maybe it can get even better. So there's that. AJ talked to the media. And Tatis, by the way, I posted about this, but I saw Tatis wearing Under Armour stuff now. He was wearing an Under Armour tank or workout thing, whatever you call it. And then he was wearing Curry shoes, which looked pretty sick. But yeah, he was wearing Curry's. And we all know last year he had sick Nike cleats and Jordan and Nike. Like, that was what he was wearing. This year, that's not what we're seeing, at least in the first days of spring. So not the most important thing in the world, but if Under Armour did snag Tatis, that's a pretty good job from them. And you look at their Under Armour roster; it's led by Bryce Harper. And if you can add another star into that. That's pretty good for Under Armour. So that's all I got tonight.